Hello everyone and welcome to an unboxing of Warhammer 40k Kill Team Tomb World. Pay no attention to the Warcry scenery in the background, this ain't about that. This is the newest release for Kill Team, and in terms of box it is huge. It is actually slightly taller but not quite as wide as the High Storm box, just for comparison at a glance. But this is the newest release. You get a mat, terrain, 2 full kill teams, and one of which is already being heralded as the most OP team to ever OP in an OP situation. You just put this over, we can take a quick, hopefully not super reflective, shiny look at what we have here. There we go, so that is a pretty good view of everything you get here. It's another interior type place, so it's very similar to Gallowdark, and you get the Deathwatch and the Canoptic Circle as the 2 kill teams, so Necrons and Deathwatch, and a rulebook with all their stat cards, all the markers, and some unique setups for this. I think you also get 10 Necron warriors and some Scarab Swarms. That is MPOs for the solo versus AI game type that they're adding, and we already know from leaks it's going to eventually culminate against that new Satan with the Scythe model that got leaked. Games Workshop is going rabid at the minute trying to find whoever's leaking everything, because it is costing them money, I think. Well, not money, but certainly ruining their plans, and that's very funny. Anyway, let's open the box. So as I get the lid off here, I'd just like to say I got this from Wayland Games in the UK in the first wave when the pre-orders opened, even though it was a bit of a nightmare because they really struggled to even get it listed on the store. And I don't know, the opposite of a shout out to Element Games, who on the pre-order day put out an email saying, yeah, we're not getting a lot of copies, so we're just going to give it to people who go into store, which is perfectly acceptable, that's up to them. But a week later, or 2 weeks later now, they had some more copies in. They've now got them listed on their website for far less discount than the usual discount they do on Games Workshop stuff. So, you know, greed does things to a person, I guess, and that's really sad to see. Or a company, anyway. So, we have a bundle of sprue. It does not look particularly organised, but I did just flip the box upside down, so, you know. This is the miscellaneous terrain bits. I presume most of it counts as either light or heavy. It looks thick enough to be heavy to me. Those are the teleportation pads, that's for specific rules for Tomb World. And that is a very cool looking sarcophagus, the Necron, I don't know, Primarch or something inside. I've forgotten Necron terms, I haven't painted Necrons in years, this will be exciting. Then we have one of the Deathwatch sprues. I'm not expecting anything to be wrong with this. You can only field 5 Deathwatch, but there should be the bits here to make 10, or maybe it's 9. I think that, yeah, there's 3 Gravis armor options, and I think you only have the bits to build 2 of them. Not that it's hard to pick up a general marine and Gravis armor. That's one of the Necron sprues. That's the boss of the Necrons, in fact, the Chronomancer, I think. Another huge sprue of Deathwatch. Shield guy, Thunderhammer guy, exceptionally big gun guy down there. Again, hopefully this is in focus, but really I'm just taking a quick glance at anything wrong. My Hive Storm box was fine, but the Kill Team starter box was not. So just having a little once over and a quick check. That's more Deathwatch. And then we have Necrons. Well, that's the warrior sprue for sure, because there are so many repeating of the same arms and such. So if you're only interested in Kill Team and not playing the solo mode of Kill Team, that's really, like, that's nothing. You don't need that. That is the rest of the actual Necron Kill Team there. And then we have the terrain. I hope this terrain fits better together than Gallowdark does. So it's a series of walls and pins, and I have also seen you have to be very careful with how you glue these, because you don't want to glue the kind of rectangular slits, because that's how it modulates together. So you don't want any glue gunking that up or accidentally gluing something you shouldn't. And then we have a pretty cool looking wall of Necrons. I like that. Very detailed. It's very neat looking. And I like also that a lot of the scenery has like the wall that was there previously crumbling away to reveal that the Tomb World is awakening. It's a very, very fun theme for a map. And then, doorways, some of them have breakable sections, or sorry, breachable I think is the actual term, so that would slot in there. You can breach it, anyone can breach, but certain operatives with the breacher keyword can do it for 1 EP as opposed to 2, is my understanding at least. There is some more walls with doors, some more Necrons in their sarcophagus, which I guess are these wall-mounted things here. And then I think this is a repeat. Actually, I don't recognise that one down there, but either way, another breachable wall, openable door, some bits of wall. And finally, as far as scenery goes, another long wall with door, another long wall with breachable section of wall, and that's like a laser grid. I presume it's maybe alternative to a door, so when you open it, that goes away, I guess. But that is a chunk of sprue, and that is most of the box taken up by that. Oh, why is there little dots down here? Is it so the box can breathe? That's weird. So then we move on to the non-miniature stuff, although there is a pretty sweet picture of the Necron kill team, unsleeping Necron sentinels. So this will be the board in here. We'll take a quick look at this. We'll not be able to unfurl the whole thing, however. But you can get a little bit of an idea. So it's double-sided again, but they're both themed around what matches the terrain. So a tomb world that is in the process of awakening with suitable floor. One side is less green, so maybe it's not quite as awake on this side, although you can see tons of scarabs like in the floor, like up there or down here. That's pretty neat. So yep, that is a full double-sided board, same quality and size as what you're accustomed to if you've had them already. Then that's the big box of goodies right there, but hidden behind the breathable holes we have ourselves the bases. A lot of bases, because it's coming with extras for those scarabs and Necron warriors as well. So there is a lot of them. Those giant bases are for the Chronomancer and the two, what are they called? Tomb crawlers. Yeah, I think they're on the largest bases, so that's for them. Then you have a mixture for the Deathwatch, slightly larger bases, and then the smaller guys and the warriors on those. So enough bases for all of them. No dice, no cheap white dice this time. Oh, they could be in this, I suppose. Well, let's open the dossier and see what is inside. Here we are. So we have ourselves the big book, the big dossier. This Susurrus of Awakening. Susurrus, I don't know if that's a real word or not, that's a new word to me. But there you can also get a look at what the board will look like with everything set up, and what some of the Deathwatch look like. Not going to go through this every single page, but get the general idea. And I think this is where their stat cards are as well, which is a shame. I'd prefer if they were separate, but it does give you the information on how to form the kill teams. They're all in the app already, for the record, but this is where all their stats are, as well as the Necrons. And I think there's a couple of missions as well, rules about the kill zone itself, using the teleporters, how to use the teleporters, and how to breach the walls there as well. Joint ops, yeah, so that is for the MPOs, yeah, MPO data cards for the warriors and the scarabs. And oh yeah, we do have some joint ops at the back here, we have quite a few actually. Tomb World reference. Well, if you get approved ops 2025, I think that will come with these on smaller keycards as well, but it does have layouts listed at the back here for Tomb World map packs. But approved ops doesn't get included in the box this time, unlike with Hivestorm, unfortunately. Then we have all the required tokens for Deathwatch, Necrons. They have a weird matrix node system, and that little matrix marker there is to help you realise where it is. I would have thought you needed 3 of them, but no, you get the one, so you just have to map it out in your mind. If you're not good at mapping out shapes in your head, I think you're going to struggle with them, but oh well. And then just some generic markers as well for wounds, and +1 APL and such. And then, oh, you do get cards. Good. The assembly instructions. I have seen word as well that some of the assembly for the scenery in particular, is listed in the wrong order. The pictures are correct, but the numbers listed are swapped the wrong way. I can't remember which specific wall section it is, but they're listed wrong on one of the wall sections, so be very careful with that when you're assembling. I believe everything else is fine. Haven't seen anyone else mention any other issues, but better to check just in case. So then, just slide out the last of this. Good, I'm glad we do get the decks, because they're so much easier to handle, and this is probably MPO. There we go. Yeah, MPO data cards. Never tried it, but nice to have. MPO data card as well, don't know why that one's not double-sided. And then event cards if you're doing those missions. So just options for if you're not just playing a standard game. Might be interesting to try sometime. I can't say one way or the other whether it's exciting. I really do want that new Stan model though, the Nightbringer, is that what it's called? Because it looks awesome. I do have a thing for scythes. And then we have, let's do Necrons first, since we're on their theme with the MPO cards. These boxes are a little tighter than the actual card packs, but there's one stuck. It's as if proving my point right there. What was stuck? The Geomancer's card. So if you want to pause to read absolutely everything, but as I say, they are available and have been available for a little while now on the app, so you can absolutely, it tells you to flip it over, but it just gives you another card. You can absolutely look into this yourself. The Deathwatch are going to be primed for a nerfing, almost certainly, if enough people cry about it, because no fun is allowed in Kill Team, as we're all aware. And there we have their faction rules. That's going to take a few read-throughs to even understand this mechanic. That's not going to be fun. Faction equipment, strategic ploys, firefight ploys, and then it'll be universal equipment after markers. Yes, okay. I will put that back in there afterwards. And then finally, because there's nothing else in there. Yeah, so you don't get dice this time, I think. Yeah, that's just protective. Although the dice are always very cheap looking if you don't buy separate ones, so you're not missing out much, trust me. Nothing got stuck there. So we have our awesome Deathwatch. They do seem really good, but you do only get 5 of them on the table, so that's definitely a downside. Each one individually is pretty scary, but you're really going to feel every single loss. So roll badly once or get rolled well against once, except maybe for the Aegis, and you're probably in a lot of trouble. And I think that's the kind of balance that we're hoping for, but who knows how it will actually work out. So yeah, you only get to pick 5 out of the 10. And then they just have slightly better than average Angels of Death rolls. They have a lot better than average, actually, to be fair. Especially that, which is going to get nerfed into the ground first, I would imagine. But either way, strategic ploys, firefight ploys, which are also really good, and marker guide, and then the normal universal equipment. But the scouting step is now gone, so equipment choices matter more. So bringing your sergeant to get a free bit of equipment really makes them worth it, plus the free strategy ploy and firefight ploy once per game. Like, you don't have to take him, which is unique, but you want to take him. And that is what you get inside Tomb World. So this will be a long-term project for me, because right now I'm working on the Nemesis Claw for the channel, and then after that I think I'm going to focus on Strike Team Variel, but then I'll tackle one of the kill teams from this most likely. Not sure about the scenery, I only just got done with Gallowdark, and as I mentioned about the Warcry stuff in the background, that's my next terrain project. So it might be a little bit, but you can certainly be assured that you will see the Tomb World content on this channel sooner or later. Go check out the Kill Team videos if you haven't already. Appreciate you checking out the unboxing. Have a great day, and ta-ta for now.